What's going on, everybody? Wilson here, Spiritual Hype Man. Happy to be back. I hope you're having a great day. And just remember, if you're not, it's just thoughts in our head. And sometimes we just need to step away. Sometimes we do have to feel it. Sometimes, it just depends on the situation. But I think the most important thing is identifying what is the situation and what do I need to do in order to be most optimal, right, at this moment. Maybe it is you have to feel it, or maybe it is you just have to change the way you're thinking of things. Maybe it is you just have to, start singing, dancing, cheating or beating the cheat code by biohacking, going outside doing jumping jacks. I think jumping jacks are one of the best exercises out there for anything and everything to get back in shape. I'm gonna start doing jumping jacks every day. Let's see how long I can go for that. But I hope you guys are having a great day. I'm super excited to be back. If you haven't listened to the last episode or the episodes with the special guests, I would definitely encourage you to do so because those were really, really good. But today's episode, I want to talk about the frequency that we're putting out, okay? I wish I could show you, and at some point, maybe it'll be the thumbnail of this episode podcast. Somehow I'll create the thumbnail of it. But I've realized, like, I did a self-audit again, and I think that's another important part of just being a good progressive human, aware, if that's even a word, aware human of progressiveness of the thought thyself as a whole. Basically, it's just like understanding yourself as the individual and like taking time to actually reflect and then really ask yourselves to, like, what can I become aware of that I'm just not aware of? This is really simply the way to put it. And the thought was this. So I realized that, yes, obviously there's a frequency to our being, right? There's a frequency to energy and waves and all that stuff. You can Google whatever you want to do or just ask ChatGPT. it'll give you a synopsis of that, frequency and vibes. So the thought is, I do listen to, certain binaural beats for focus, relaxation, muscle repair. I believe in that because obviously frequency, energy, the way that you're listening to the podcast right now is due to all these waves. And so reflecting on just my body and my state of being for most of my day, I've become aware that throughout most of my life, there's a frequency that I'm stuck in. And it's this like, it's like this high energy, short static. Like if you were able to visualize this, it looks like short mini lightning bolts all around like my outside of my body, right? And they're not outside, not like on my body, but as almost like an aura. Is I've realized that is my energy wave frequency. And I started, and I actually drew it out. One day at night, I was reflecting. I was like, how does my body feel? Like if I were to draw what my body feels like in terms of the frequency that I'm putting out, draw it, Wilson. And so I did. And it's me with all these short little lightning bolts around me. And so I realized that it's powerful energy, right? It's short, powerful, sporadic, sometimes chaotic energy. And then I realized that looking at it, I'm like, well, I need to figure out a way to harness this energy. I need a way to connect these little short lightning bolts and sort of make it like a glowing aura instead of like a kind of aura. You know what I mean? And so that's what visually then taking that next level and being like, okay, well, what does that look like? Then I drew another image of what I felt, everything that would be connected in this energy field or this aura would look like. and I don't want to say ironically, but just logically enough, I think it's logically enough. Once you start realizing these things, and you can actually like have a good, IQ of like what you're feeling or how you're feeling or like this energy that you're putting out, you can start realizing like how does that make your own internal body feel and then the people around you. So with this little short high energy burst of like, it's good to be around because it's like energy, but it can be exhausting and it can also be overwhelming. And so I realized that those are certain qualities of my frequency, right? Like of certain times that I'm not certain times. I would say most of my walking around is sort of I walk around in this, frequency. And so I started asking myself, reflecting, like, okay, well, if I want this frequency or this energy to be more of a flow, right? Not like so short and static and sort of thing. How do I start visualizing? Really, it's visualizing putting this aura around my body and frequency. And then so once I did that, I realized that one, my breath changed, right? So the way I was breathing from like fast, always tight chest, like something's gonna happen. I gotta like look over my shoulder, kind of feeling, to a more subtle, slower, deep breath. More space in between breath, breathing, and I've been working on reinforcing that and really just taking note and asking myself, how do I feel energetically? Do I feel like I'm the short burst of frantic, a little bit chaotic energy right now? And if so, can I slow down my breath, slow down and visually kind of see this aura change, kind of interconnecting these short little lightning bolts into this just kind of ever breathing, aura of just relaxed, but same intense power. Right? It's like taking this powerful, chaotic energy and converting it to the same, like keeping the same power, but just changing the flow of it, right? Changing the state of it. And that's what I've been reinforcing lately. And it's really been, it's been very helpful in terms of not feeling so, you know what I mean? I can still go there because like it's it's something that I've felt before for a very long time. So I can take it there, but I know, and I'm happier now understanding, like, and one, it's seeing the visual, like it's a crazy drawing, like what I drew, it's just like, I don't want to say crazy, but it's just, wow, it's a good rendition of, of what I was feeling like. And so that, along with the whole, the episode, I thought I forgave my abusive mom, and really that episode, if you haven't listened to it, I would encourage you to do that as well. But again, the whole notion of understanding that even though I forgave my mom, I was still having like this automatic response to just how I was feeling, like I was always walking on eggshells because I've been doing that for most of my life. So then I just interconnected this stuff, understanding that, I was doing feeling that way for most of my life. So my automatic response is that of just like, kind of high, hectic, chaotic energy. But then realizing that that's the energy that I'm walking around. And to follow up on that is like, if, there's certain parts of that energy that people like because it's like, wow, I don't know, like, it's almost like, it's chaotic fun, like it's a little bit of a, what the fuck? Like if you have too much of it, it's just like, it becomes overwhelming. And that's exactly it. It's exactly a perfect way to describe the energy. And so I've realized all of this and I hope that makes sense. I hope it makes sense to you, and maybe you can use it if you're going through it, or figure out a way. Really, anyone, even if you're not going through the same similar situation, or like it's not chaotic energy, I think everyone in a situation can at least stop and reflect and ask, okay, if I were to draw what my body energy feels like in terms of like, what I'm giving out to people energetically, or what I'm giving out to the universe energetically, what does that look like? Draw it out, stencil it, whatever it is. And you'll see, I'm sure everyone has different ways of, depicting how their energy field looks and feels like. And that energy field's got to be connected to something that, you may be aware of or not. So that's it's very powerful. It's a very powerful exercise, I would say, if I don't say so myself. And then again, to come and realize all this in the last couple of weeks, it's been pretty amazing. And it's helped, and it's not only helped obviously my own internal being in terms of that, but just how I feel about certain situations. I don't feel so overwhelmed anymore. And then at the same time, the way I communicate with Patty, uh, and again, that along with what I said the last episode in terms of giving myself enough time to wind down from one situation and then get ready for another situation, that with a combination of just what is the frequency and the energy that I'm bringing and how I'm feeling, has been a pretty powerful combination of, a step in the right direction of where we all want to be. I would imagine. So I hope you're having a great day. I hope that helps. Super happy to be back. Can't wait to keep crushing it. There's gonna be more people on the podcast. I would say, let's tag us on Instagram. If you're a listener, just tag us on Instagram at NCYD. I think that would be the best way to do it on Instagram. So if you listen to us, you like one of the episodes, you like this episode, you want to share this one, tag us on Instagram at NCYD. Keep crushing it, you guys. Just remember, it takes time, it takes patience, and it's just the thoughts in our head. And don't forget, nothing changes until you do. All right, peace.